Hey guys, we're out here on claim number 857983. G is in good, Q is in Quebec. Today is February 12th. It's approximately 45 degrees. It's about 3 mile an hour wind here. Reason why that's important, in order to properly do an assessment here, we have to be over 40 degrees. And we got to be less than 15 mile an hour wind here. My name is Tim Jackson. I'm the certified repair assessor here. Here's my certification number through Building Experts Institute. I was advised to come out here to perform this repair. Just so y'all know, I am a third party. I'm not the project manager, so I have no dog in this fight. I'm doing this according to the National Academy of Forensic Engineering standards on a repair assessment. So what I'm going to do here is show you guys what this looks like and what we're doing here. So we have a shingle that's being paid for repair. There's been multiple, but here's our subject shingle. This is one that was covered by the scope of work for repairs. So to show y'all guys a little bit about this sketch here. All right, so every shingle, all 8 of these, would somehow could be affected in this assessment. Reason why you see 1, 2, the numbers are going from left to right, odd numbers on the left, even numbers on the right. All right, so each of these shingles, where we take out subject shingle here, 1 and 2 could be affected by the mat transfer if that's the case here. The ones surrounding it are all around it, and we'll show y'all during the process here. But I like to identify in different colors of chalk here our subject shingle that's coming out, the shingles around it, and you also see some areas that I marked here. Our legend of it here is our pre-existing damages that are already present here before we even start with the assessment. So we have some severe granular loss, some wear and tear going on these shingles that are pre-existing that have not been caused by this repair. So we notate that beforehand. So what I like to do is go ahead, because I will be putting these photos in a scorecard through BEI that's going to score this repair. So I'm always going to go ahead and get an overview picture here, get close-ups of all of these shingles before this repair even starts. So we've got detailed photographs with 1 through 8 here. Boom. Okay, now that I got that, first things first, let you know the tools I'll be using. I like to use this very small pry bar to unseal the shingles. We're not breaking the seal, we're unsealing them. So I do have this big boy pry bar that I'm going to be removing the fasteners with. I don't like to use this to unseal because bulkier. We want to treat this with care because we don't want to force damage any of these shingles. We want to do this the right way. So, and what I need to do first is get our subject shingle out. So when doing this, I have to unseal the subject shingle and also 5, 6, 7, and 8, because these shingles have to get up underneath there to remove the fasteners to pull this one out. So I'm gonna start by doing that. As you can see, subject shingle is easily coming apart. 5. Got 5 loose. Alright, 6. 7. All right, so now when I get to a resistant point like this, I'll use a putty knife just to give it a little extra care, because when we see a strong seal bond here, I want to use all the caution I can to carefully unseal this without forcing damage here. Just got that broke. All right, so now we got that out. Make sure everything's clear. There it is. All right. No visible damage from removing the seal. So now I'll use a roof snake and a pry bar here, so I'm not touching this shingle. So what I'll do is I'll get under here with the snake find the fastener, just give it a little wiggle so it removes it, and pull out the fasteners all the way down. We do have some pull through going on here, but it is on our subject shingle. So this is not a surrounding shingle, so that's not gonna matter per se, but it could be an issue moving forward on these other shingles here. All right, so I like to stop right there. You'll have this on camera to zoom in here. This is what a prime example of a pull through. All right, so when we remove these fasteners and it rips that shingle, especially on a butt joint like this, we're gonna see a pull through. So we see that this is on number shingle 5. So I like to go ahead and notate this, PT. All right, so this is our first point of failure in getting this out. Go ahead and remove this. All right. Now the last shingle right here on 6. So you can see I'm just trying to barely wiggle it just so I can get this shingle up here. But you see, as I'm doing it, it's causing that rip, where we also have on shingle number 6 now, we have a PT, we have a pull through. This is very common on shingles that in this age and condition, especially on these butt joints, because it's not in a filled area, so it's up against an area towards the end of the shingle. All right, so go ahead and pull this shingle out. All right, now we got this out. As you can see, we do have a CertainTeed laminate here. So we're going back with something like the kind here. All right, so what I like to do first is go ahead and compare the shingles. So now we're using something similar here. All right, so our measurements line up. This is an older CertainTeed Landmark, so it's gonna have the right measurements here. So our new shingle going in, as you can see, 38 3/4. Shingle that was pulled out, 38 3/4. So we want to measure the height. We're right there at 13 1/4. 13 1/4. So we have compatibility here. So that will not affect the scorecard, even though we do have a lot of wear and tear going on. It's not going to affect compatibility on the scorecard. So before I do this, gather up all the old nails. First thing we do is we inspect the underlayment, because now that we have the shingle out, we can get in here and see the condition of, looks like 15-pound tar paper felt. So as you see, look under here, no rips, no tears, nothing of concern here that's going to affect us moving forward with this repair. So go ahead and get this put in place. Now that we got it all lined up here, then we'll go ahead and start driving in our fasteners. So I do not need a pry bar anymore. But what we do use is 1 1/4 roofing nails. So we do have a 7/16 deck, so 1 1/4 is necessary, 4 shingles minimum per shingle. So what I like to do here on the roof snake, even though insurance carriers ask us to use it, it's not recommended for a 30-year laminate, only a 3-tab composition shingle. But we're gonna use it anyway, so we're not lifting this shingle up no more than the desired amount here. But I will tell you, I'll show you the reason why we do not like these. Once you hammer this in like this, it's not do it flush. That lip right there, so if you look, you gotta go back on top on the flat section, hammer it flush. But as you can see what happened here, now we have tool damage here. So this is another damage point on shingle number 5, which we're gonna go ahead and mark off 5 and 6 because we got pull-throughs, but I wanna document every single fail point throughout this. I'll go ahead and start doing the rest here. So you guys know, y'all advise us to use this roof snake. This is what happens. On a shingle that's pliable, that's newer, you're not gonna see that damage when you're doing this because there's not as much wear and tear, and we can do that. We also have D-Lam. You'll see me as I go notate all points of failure here. Even though we've got 5 and 6 with both 2 sets of failures, that's just on that road. Now we've got 7 and 8 that we've got to get to and securing the passengers on those. So I'm gonna stop right here before I even pull this snake out so I can identify these things to you, a term we call hinging. You can see right there what just happened. Didn't lift this shingle up no more than 10 degrees, but right here across the top right here, we've got that crease that just came about. It's called hinging. Does not to be mistaken from creasing. Okay, hinging is what happens when we try to get this nail in here on a shingle that's in this condition. So I like to go ahead and mark that on shingle 7. But we'll go ahead and finish getting the shingle in place. Go ahead and mark the tears. We're almost done. More D-Lam. One more on shingle 7 and one more on that butt joint for 8. All right, now that we got the shingle securely fastened, now we can go back in here and score this. All right, so we know we've got the tears hinging on 5, 6, tears, hinges 7, and we also have T here on 8. So we didn't have anything on 1, 2, or 3, or 4. It's only 6, 7, and 8. So right here, out of the 8 shingles here, we have 4. So according to the standards here that was written by Valor Engineering, anything over 2 out of 8 in a 1 shingle repair assessment would deem this being a non-pliable roofing system. So in this, we would say, look, we cannot move forward with these repairs. This is not successfully restoring it back to its pre-loss conditions. So Identifying all this, I'm going to go ahead and shoot pictures of this. This is a complete repair assessment. So as we can see, I document the overview, document the shingle tears from the tools prescribed to use to do this repair, the hinging, the D-lam. All right, so now we got that. We can clearly all agree here that moving forward with the prescribed repairs here is just not going to be feasible enough to actually do any justice here and restore it back to its pre-loss conditions. You'll have this video for your viewing pleasure and also a scorecard from BEI. So I appreciate your time and hope this video reaches you well. Have a great day. Thank you.